All right, so what are the supports that students get while they're here?
This school has a lot of support. So in my classroom, there's one teacher, which is me, and then I have 3 teaching assistants. They also go to adapted music.
Okay.
They go to adaptive gym. They have occupational therapy services, and they have speech therapy, and they also get art therapy. So that's a lot of services. The programs in St. Paul are really nice, very well-rounded, and really meets the needs of kids with autism.
Okay. If you could add or change anything to the school system, that, I guess to Benjamin Mays and how you guys work, what would it be?
The one thing I would change would be that teachers would have more intense training in communication skills on how to teach the kids. There's very specific routines and ways to teach communication, and St. Paul does offer some of that, but I wish that they offered more, because when you're working with kids that don't talk and that you need to teach them how to talk, you need to have a lot of training. That would be the one big thing that I would like to see change, more training in how to teach kids to communicate.
Perfect. Is there anything else you want to add that you didn't get to say?
Working with special education children, especially ones like Caillou or any of them, it's very rewarding. I mean, it's the best job. I would not change it for anything in the world.
Okay. All right, Miss Hansmeyer, what got you into special ed?
When I was going to school, I was going to school for teaching, and I really wanted to teach, and there were no jobs in elementary education, which was what my degree was in, so I'd go back to school for special ed licenses.
Okay, what kind of students do you have?
Right now, I work with learning disabled students. Those are students who have some difficulty acquiring knowledge because of their processing in reading, writing, and math.
Okay. What is an IEP?
An IEP is the student's individual education plan. All the students have goals based on the areas that they need help in, and you review those goals every year and set new ones.
Okay. What generally happens to the students after they graduate?
A lot of students go right to college. Some students might get jobs for a while. Other students, if they have needs in what we call the transition areas, which is home and daily living, community participation, recreation and leisure, usually it's in jobs and job training or post-secondary education, they can go to a special program to help them get learn those skills that they need, and once they get those skills, they would finish school, but they have a chance to get help until they're 21 to improve in some of those areas.
Okay, cool. If you could change anything about the special ed system, what would that be?
Well, right now it's based on a law, the Students with Disabilities Act, and so because it's based on a law, we have to follow all these regulations, and there's a lot of paperwork. So if there was some way to simplify that, that would make us be able to serve kids easier and have less paperwork to do. That's what I would like to change.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hansmeyer. All right, so I'm going to start us off with how I'm special ed, my first couple experiences special ed, and I'm going to end on some positive, which is what I really enjoy about the special ed school system that St. Paul has. So I'm dyslexic and have ADHD. ADHD just means that I cannot focus sometimes, and that I also have a hard time staying in one spot. I'm always kind of moving. You might notice a little bit in my interviews or maybe in class. But dyslexia, on the other hand, is kind of the main reason why I'm special ed. People tend to think that I see numbers and letters backwards or different or whatever. But actually how I experience it is when I go to sound out a word, I will add letters and sounds that aren't there, and it's just a mess. Dyslexia affects me remembering names, reading, writing are big ones, like the main things. Math is also very big. And in third grade is kind of when I noticed I was special ed. I was taken out of my regular little third grade class and put into a smaller class with about 4 or 5 other kids. We would just work on math, reading, and writing, and it was for about an hour a day. And then in fifth grade, I was told I was special ed and dyslexic in the same little evening. That was a big day for me. I didn't really care that I was special ed. I just didn't want other kids to know I was special ed, just because in fifth grade everyone's like teasing and stuff like that. So I didn't care that I was special ed. I just didn't want the other kids to know I was special ed. And let's see, 11th grade was actually my first year in mainstream English, which was a big deal for me. I was really nervous, but it went really smooth and transitioned very well, I feel. What I really enjoy about the special ed school system that St. Paul has is they keep everything very confidential. I feel like not many kids knew I was special ed, if any at all, and they kept everything on the low. It was nice. And I get a lot of support. The teachers are very nice. Some of the support I get are extended time on tests. I can go outside of the classroom to take a test and do a smaller classroom, which is very nice. I can have stuff read to me. There's a lot of other stuff. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. And it's just a really nice specialized school system that St. Paul has. And I just want to say thank you guys all for watching my documentary. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit about special ed, maybe what it is and what it looks like. And I really appreciate you guys sitting through this and watching my documentary.